Thanks everyone for joining. We'll give it a couple more minutes here. But Holly, I share your sentiments. It'd be so nice if we were all in a room together with a couple extra hundred people, be able to give hugs after these last 2 years. I know we're all looking forward to the next time our convention can be in person.
Is the state convention supposed to be in person?
Everything that I've heard is that the state convention itself is in person, and that the convention committee, like temporary committee chairs, have decided to do committees virtually. So
Okay,
that's
cool.
all I've heard.
Yeah, I'm looking at reports, and that hosting company is definitely having problems. Of course.
Nothing like waiting until convention day.
You know, yeah.
Crash the website.
I'm looking at the chart and it's like, good, good, good. This morning it's up. Right around 8.
That's what happened on caucus night with Zoom, remember?
We were in person.
And we'll give it just maybe one more minute here, but as a heads up to everyone, to avoid any kind of Zoom bombs or any outside attacks from someone that captured this link, we are going to mute everybody once that we get this program started. So just as a heads up, if you need to communicate with any of our hosts or with anyone else, you can certainly use the chat, but we will be muting everybody shortly.
That happened at the rural caucus's last event.
Yep. It's unfortunate that we're still seeing that happen, 2 years into this pandemic and whatnot, but unfortunately, it still is something we have to put up with.
And Greg, can I address everyone for a minute? As the secretary, I've never done this before, so please speak clearly when you do have something that you want to add, and speak one at a time so that I can recognize who's speaking and get the information correctly. Thank you.
Jenny, as rules chair, when I give the report, I will send you a copy of my report. So you can decide. And of course, this is all being recorded, so you'll be able to go back if you miss anything.
Okay, I don't know where I would find the recording, but I'm sure you can get that to me, so.
All right, well, we are going to go ahead and get started. According to the convention order of business that was circulated as part of our convention booklet, we are required to convene the convention within 15 minutes of the 9 a.m. hour. So as the chair of the 3rd Congressional District Central Committee, I'm convening our 3rd District Convention open at 9:07 a.m. And with that, the convention chair is going to mute everyone on this Zoom. Probably muted myself. Nope, there we go. And then I will spotlight our Rules Committee Chair, Jackie Cordone, who will provide an update to the convention on the SEC election results. Jackie.
Hi, good morning. It's been fun to see your names pop in. I saw your names this week as I was bugging you to vote. And so it's fun to put faces to some of the names that I didn't know. The rules and nominations, District Convention Planning Committee spent a lot of hours drafting the rules for this convention. And as you know, being virtual created a lot of problems. We used the 2020 3rd District Convention rules, and we pulled additional points from the Polk County 2022 Convention Guide, recognizing that they were virtual and the size of their county, both of those things, gave them unique advice to be able to offer to us. And we were able to expand our rules based on what they had done and found successful. We also asked the chairs of the other planning committees what they needed, and we worked with the rules to assist them. 148, this is something to be proud of, you guys. You guys did great. 148 out of 158 seated delegates voted. That's over 97%. We chased down every ballot because we're Democrats, and that's what we do, right? Especially when I'm in the smallest county in the state. There's one thing my Democrats taught me, and that's how to chase down ballots. One of the biggest rules one of the biggest issues for rules was the nominations and the voting. And before I give you the results of the vote, people asked that I explain what our goals were and why we used the things we did. Ease of use. We wanted something that you could use easily, a system where you could go in, you could vote, you could ask for a receipt, you could go back and get a receipt if you still didn't have one. And so ease of use. But transparency was our biggest goal. We wanted voters to be able to check their ballot before submitting. We wanted them to receive an email receipt if they requested. We wanted the 3rd District to be able to download the results in the event a candidate or a voter questioned the results. You'd be amazed how many companies out there that don't offer that. We wanted to ensure that no voter or their ballot could be removed from the election once the election started. And we wanted to ensure that we could understand how the ranked choice voting would be scored. There's like 7 different methods of scoring ranked choice voting. And the company that we used, EZVote Online, did a good job of explaining that and offering the best version. We also required that no one working with the election be on the ballot as a candidate and that they not be related to anyone on the ballot. And for additional transparency, Truly Wingert, our 3rd District organizer, was also an administrator with the election system. Part of the transparency included 3 tellers who served this last week in assisting voters who needed help in filling out a ballot during recorded sessions, and who met this morning to certify the results of the election. They deserve our thanks for their work in making sure everyone could vote, and for getting up at 8 a.m. this morning to meet. We wanted to make sure that vote went as long as possible. So we gave you until 11:59 p.m. last night, but that meant that we had to meet early this morning in order to look at the results. These tellers were Joshua Hughes from Polk County, Bob Ives from Dallas County, and Elizabeth Warren from Montgomery County. This morning, they certified the vote, and the results are as follows. State Central Committee members, the following 8 persons, as ranked by voters, will be seated on the State Central Committee following the state convention, as per our Iowa Democratic Party Constitution. We did vote in 2 categories. Our Constitution requires no more than 4 of one gender. This year, only people who identified as either man or woman put their names in, self-nominated. So those were the 2 categories that we had. Sorry, I should have had some water. We have Zebulon Bilkey McCallum, and Zebulon, if I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. I should have checked with you ahead of time. John McCormley, Michael Ramirez, and Hugh Stone. We also have Jan Norris, Mary McAdams, Melinda Padley Jones, and Luann Pedrick. Thank you for all being willing to serve. I know State Central Committee is a lot of work, and your service and your willingness to run for the rest of you was greatly appreciated. I had a lot of people that said, we have so many great names on this list. How in the world do I ever pick? So thank you. You did good work, all of you. We affirmed Quill Bardowell as our new district affirmative action chair. Sorry, Gregory, I should have asked you. You just want me to go ahead through the whole results?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. We talked about that and then I forgot to double check. On the platform vote, the platform was approved with a yes of 134, a no of 6, with 8 abstaining. The state convention planning committees, arrangements, the slate was approved. Credentials, the slate was approved. Rules, the slate was approved. And on platform, there were more names than we had. 14, we only had 14 slots. So the following 14 will serve on the state convention planning committee as members: Brian McLean, Deborah Fish, Marcus Lucas, Christy Munt, Sam Plank, Richard McLaughlin, Gary Grimm, Cheryl Tannock, Leonard Tinker, Kyle Vandermolen, Veronica Lack, Chuck Offenberger, Dennis Wagner, and Holly Herbert. Now, later today, we will email you the results of this election and ask for your ratification vote. And you'll have until Monday night at 11:59 p.m. I tend to like that time, I guess. So thank you all for voting. Thank you for participating, and greatly, greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate all of the hard work that your committee and of course that you put in over the course of the last several weeks to our rules process, to the balloting, which I would agree with some of the sentiments that we're seeing in the chat, that we've had a lot of great success with the EZVote platform, and that's something that we're going to continue using probably in the 3rd district moving forward. So thanks for all your hard work, and thanks for sharing the results, and big congratulations to everyone who was elected and to all of those who will be representing the 3rd district on one of our state convention planning committees. So with that, I'm going to now move forward with what was hopefully going to be the Congresswoman's address to our group. Unfortunately, she is not able to join us live today, but she does have a video for the convention, and so we will share that now.
Hi everyone, Congresswoman Cindy Axne here. I'm running for re-election to make sure that we can keep the House in Democratic hands and continue to give Iowans a voice in Washington. And I know we can win because our values are the values of hardworking Iowans. Folks here are looking to vote for trustworthy people who can show them that they can deliver, and Democrats are doing just that. I also know we can win because I know I can count on all of you to put in the hard work to get me and Democrats up and down the ballot over the finish line. On my campaign, we started knocking doors in November, nearly a year before the election. We've knocked on over 3,000 doors already, thanks to so many of you. And that's what it's going to take to win, because the stakes could not be higher. If we lose control of the House, Jim Jordan becomes chair of Judiciary Committee, and his first move is to try to impeach the president. We can't allow that to happen. That's why we've got to make sure we're putting it all out there. And I know with all of you doing the work to make sure we turn out every single Democrat in Iowa 3, we will win and protect the majority. Thanks so much for all that you do. Let's win this thing.
All right, well, I think we can all share the Congresswoman's sentiments there at the end. It's up to all of us and so many of you who are on this call this morning and who will be watching on Facebook or over the next couple days. The recording, I've done so much work for the Congresswoman's campaign for re-election, and we're so fortunate for all of you and for the work that you've done. Very quickly, we'll move on to the district chair address. I promise these remarks will be short. I just want to thank everybody for coming on the call today. We're exactly 199 days away from the November 8th election right now. We already have volunteers from across the 21 counties of the new Congressional District working hard to engage with Democrats and no party voters alike to re-elect Cindy Axne. From Altoona to Atlantic, Bloomfield to Bristol Township in Greene County, our new Congressional District is filled with voters who agree that Democrats are delivering for Iowans. That's Joe Biden, Cindy Axne, delivering real results. And with that election quickly approaching, the work that our district central committee, our subcommittees, and even our convention committees over the last several weeks, all that work has been laying the groundwork for a more inclusive and a better Iowa Democratic Party. And so we are all fortunate for the work that's happening behind the scenes. And I'm so fortunate for all the work that you guys are doing in your home counties to represent Cindy Axne and to share her message across the district. I do want to take a brief moment to just thank our convention committee chairs, Mary McAdams from Arrangements, Jackie Cordone from Rules and Nominations, Luann Pedrick from Credentialing, and Holly Herbert from Platform. Your work behind the scenes has truly been instrumental in the planning and execution of the convention this morning, and of course, all the work that's gone in behind the scenes to allow our program today to be a little bit shorter than the normal in-person convention, but to go off without a hitch as well. So thank you. Additional thanks, of course, are necessary to all of our convention committee members who volunteered so much time, debating our rules and helping to ensure that our ranked choice voting process was one of the most transparent elections that we've had, certainly in our district. Our platform committee spent nearly 20 hours drafting our district platform, and then our credentialing and arrangements committee put in so much work behind the scenes. So big thank you to everyone that was involved. I'd be remiss, of course, not to thank our subcommittee chair for communications subcommittee, Cecile Thompson, who spent countless hours helping to collect platforms and delegate contact information, as well as sending emails to our central committee members, to our county chairs, convention delegates, and alternates. Thank you, Cecile, for all your hard work. I appreciate it. In addition to all those who worked on planning and implementation of our district convention, I really want to thank all of you, our convention delegates, for voting for state central committee members, our district affirmative action chair, and the district platform. Thank you for your patience in this process. Running a virtual convention is definitely new to a lot of the folks that were helping behind the scenes, and yet your patience along the way really made it so that this process moved very smoothly. So thank you so much for that. On the subject of our convention elections, a big shout out to our new SEC members, Zebulon, Mary, John, Jan, Michael, Melinda, Hugh, and Luann. Of course, congratulations to our new affirmative action chair, Quill Bardole. And a special shout out, of course, to all of the 3rd District county chairs who have been tirelessly advocating for Democrats across the 21 counties of the new 3rd District. I can't thank everyone enough, but certainly thanks to our central committee members who are carrying Cindy Axne's message across the district from Davis to Cass County. I'm so grateful to the 8 state central committee members who will be ending their term, some of them continuing on, but those who have represented our district for the last 2 years. The work that you've done in our district and your dedication and advocacy really does mean a lot and doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you so much. And of course, a final thank you to the hardest working Democrat that I know, our friend and our Congresswoman Cindy Axne. Since taking office in 2019, Cindy has been an unwavering voice for Iowa. She is constantly ranked as one of the most bipartisan members of Congress, one of the most accessible members of Congress, because she's willing to work with anyone and listen to anyone to deliver real results for Iowans. And we've seen that time and time again. Because of Democrats like Cindy Axne, we were able to pass the American Rescue Plan. We secured billions of dollars for Iowans through the bipartisan infrastructure deal and delivered some of the lowest levels of unemployment in a generation. That's real leadership. And it's why we are going to reelect Cindy Axne, because we need someone like her in Congress. So thanks again on behalf of the 3rd District for all of you. And now we have some videos from our candidates that are running for statewide office. So we'll hand it over to those videos.
Hey everybody, this is Iowa State Senator Zach Walls, and I just wanted to send my warm regards to everyone attending the 3rd Congressional District Convention here on Saturday, April 23rd. I wish I could be with you in person to express my gratitude for all the work that you're doing here for our state, but I'm spending this weekend doing a candidate training with the fantastic Democrats who have stepped up to run for the Iowa State Senate all over our state. We're really excited about the work ahead as we gear up for the November elections, and we know that there's going to be an enormous amount of overlap between the 3rd District and the Iowa State Senate candidates. We have over in Dallas County, Senator Sarah Chung Garriott running against Republican Senator Jake Sinister Agenda Chapman. We also have Todd Brady, who created the website Vaccine Hunter, running against Representative Michael Busolo, who was the architect of Medicaid privatization in the Ankeny suburban Senate district up there just north of Des Moines. We know that winning these races is going to be very difficult, but with your help and work, it is totally doable. Both of these races are key parts of us rebuilding the Democratic majority in the state Senate and stopping the awful Republican policy that the governor and her cronies in the Iowa legislature are putting forward. Whether it's their attacks on our public education system, their attacks on the LGBTQ community, or their continued assault on worker rights, we know that the Republican vision is wrong for our state, and we have to do everything that we can to get our state moving back in the right direction. I'm so excited to be supporting you today. Again, I wish I could be with you in person, but I hope that you have a great convention and look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much, everybody.
Some technical difficulties. Try this one more.
Hey, everybody. This is Iowa State.
No. Okay. One last try here.
Hi, 3rd District Democrats. This is State House Democratic Leader Jennifer Conforst. I am honored to be a member of the 3rd Congressional District and to get Cindy Axne sent back to Congress for us. I'm also honored to lead the Iowa House Democratic Caucus, and you're key to helping us get back to the majority and bring some common sense back to the Iowa legislature. We have great candidates running all across the state, and every one of them is going to need our help. If you're frustrated by what you've seen happen at the Capitol this year, voucher push, terrible, hateful anti-trans legislation, bills that focus on the wealthy and not taking care of everyday Iowans, bills that attack workers and people who were unemployed through no fault of their own. If you're tired of what you saw at the legislature this year, help me fight back by bringing more Democrats to the Iowa House this fall. You can always reach out to me. I'm the only Jennifer in the Iowa legislature. You can find me on social. I would love to have your help as we start to take our state back. Thanks for all you do. And thank you for giving me the chance to tell you how important your help will be this fall. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Franken. Thank you for being here. Thank you as well for showing up every day to fight for the quality of life in this state and working to elect Democrats up and down the ballot. I'm running for the U.S. Senate because I love Iowa. It made me, from growing up on a farm in Sioux County to a job in a meatpacking plant to my dad's machine shop to serving as a vice admiral in the United States Navy. Iowa taught me to work hard and gave me the foundation to lead. We need to defeat Chuck Grassley. And I believe I'm the candidate to do that. I need your help to make it so. Now's the time. Together, we will strengthen our communities, large and small, by making sure all Iowans have access to good-paying jobs, top-tier schools, health care, and land and water to provide for future generations. Iowa can lead this country again. Let's get back to the basics and bring a new day to all Iowans. Join me. We're going to win this. Sign up at frankenforiowa.com. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Glenn Hurst. I'm running for the U.S. Senate because I want to see Iowa thrive. We used to be #1 in education. We used to be a place where you could go outside without having to suffer from the stench of manure being spread by CAFOs. We were a place where you could eat fish at the fish fry, even though it came out of Iowa waters. We've got to do better than that. All of us want to see Chuck Grassley go. We have to get the right candidate up in front of him so that we can motivate Democratic voters to get out and vote. Today, we need a Democrat who's progressive, whose values are a stark contrast to Chuck Grassley. We need a candidate that's able to stand up and say, I support Medicare for all, and stands for the Green New Deal, who's willing to address immigration. I will bring the same vigor that Tom Harkin brought when he delivered the American with Disabilities Act. There is only one progressive candidate in this race. I ask you to join me in that campaign, HurstForIowa.com. I'm Dr.
Hi everybody, Abby Finkenauer here, and I'm running for United States Senate because Iowa, our country, and democracy are worth fighting for. You see, I grew up in a small town a little bit north of Dubuque called Sherrill. More cows than people. And the way that I grew up, the daughter of a union pipe fitter welder and a public school secretary, was that if you worked hard, you were supposed to be able to make it in this state and in this country. Unfortunately, I started watching those promises be broken, and it is why I ran for State House when I did at the age of 24, and again at 28 stepped up and flipped a U.S. House seat from red to blue. Now, we're ready to take on Senator Grassley because 47 years in Washington, D.C. is just too dang long for anyone. Look, we have a lot of work to do. This is one we can win, and we are going to, no matter how hard they try to stop us. And we're going to need you with us. So thank you for all of the advocacy you do across the state, for showing up today. And we're, again, going to need you every step of the way. If you go to abbyfinkenauer.com, get involved. We can't wait to see you out there. Take care, everybody.
Hi there, good people. Deidre DeGier here. I'm running to be your next governor, but more importantly, I want to thank you for attending your district convention. You all know how important I believe showing up is, because we all believe showing up is critical. We've got a long road ahead of us, but there is nothing that can stand against the organization of the Iowa Democratic Party. This race is going to be a lot of hard work. We're going to put a lot of sauce into it, but needless to say, it is going to be worth the work in the long run, because we all believe that Iowa students deserve access to a public education system that gives them a limitless future. We all believe that each and every Iowan should have accessible and affordable mental health care and healthcare services. We all believe that we need to leave this land better in the way in which we received it. We've got a lot of work to do, folks, but I know you're up for the task because you're showing up. Make sure next time someone else, someone different, is sitting beside you.
I'm Joel Miller, current Linn County Auditor and candidate for Iowa Secretary of State. I want you to hire me on June 7th and fire Paul Pate in November 2022. Why fire Paul Pate? Paul Pate is negligent. A few years ago, the legislature passed 2 constitutional amendments that were supposed to be published in the newspaper. Paul Pate effectively pocket vetoed them. What did he do when confronted? He fired a top lieutenant. What did the legislature do? Took away his duty to publish amendments in newspapers. In the spring of 2021, Pate inactivated over 294,000 voters in Iowa, including 17-year-olds who are registered to vote but unable to participate in the election. They were not old enough. What did Pate do when confronted? He blamed the error on his contractor. What did the legislature do? Passed a law forbidding Pate and future secretaries of state from inactivating 17-year-olds. Pate is both negligent and incompetent. We need to fire him. You need to hire me on June 7th. I'm Joel Miller, candidate for Iowa Secretary of State. I'd appreciate your support now. I'd appreciate you hiring me on June 7th. And let's fire Paul Pate in November 2022. Thank you.
Hey, fellow Democrats, I'm Eric Van Lanker, Clinton County Auditor, and I believe we need a voter advocate running elections in this state. Hey, here's 3 things we can do together when I'm your Secretary of State. First, we're going to work to protect fair access to a ballot while maintaining confidence in our electoral system. Second thing is we're going to restore early voting. We all know that absentee voting works best for voters when they have 29 days to vote. And third, and finally, count all the votes. Halting the count of absentee ballots at the end of an election night is irresponsible when we have reliable barcode technology and the voter return their ballot in good faith. And look, here's why I think I can win. I've made a career out of being reelected in a River County that's flipped red. I think that's a skill that Iowa Democrats are looking for. And we're off to a great start with endorsements from people like Rita Hart, former Congressman Dave Loebsack, and also endorsements from the United Rural Democrats and 10 other county auditors from across the state. You can check out all my endorsements and follow my campaign at ericvanlanker.com.
Hey, Iowa Democrats. 4 years ago in 2018, you helped me become the first Democrat to beat a statewide incumbent Republican since Tom Harkin did it in 1984 in his first run for the U.S. Senate. Thank you for all your work in 2018. Our campaign slogan then was Wake Up the Watchdog, and we've really done that. We actually started a government efficiency program that is so good at saving taxpayer money, the Republican state auditor of Mississippi has copied it. Same name and everything. When was the last time a Republican copied anything from a Democrat? That should be a point of pride, not just within our office for creating it, but for the whole state of Iowa. On top of that, we have uncovered more waste, fraud, and abuse than any other auditor in a single 4-year term. So that's a point of pride too. But re-election's not going to be a walk in the park. Please visit robstaden.com to sign up to volunteer, sign up for our email list, and contribute. And please stay active with the rest of the party too, so we can win up and down the ticket. Thanks.
Hi, I'm State Treasurer Michael Fitzgerald. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. Your grassroots efforts and support are key to electing Democrats up and down the ticket. I want to give a special shout out to all the county chairs, officers, and volunteers in securing the signatures needed for candidates like myself to get on the ballot. I never take any election for granted, and this year is no different. A state senator is on the ballot running against me, and I intend to beat him and to continue my service to the people of Iowa. Through programs like College Savings Iowa, the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt, iAble, I work every day to make a positive difference in Iowans' lives. Our mission in the State Treasurer's Office is simple: keep the money safe, and that is what we do. I know my work is not done. As we approach the November election, it's critical that we work together, beginning at the grassroots level, to make sure everyone understands what is at stake this November and get people to the polls. Thank you for your role in lifting up Democrats up and down the ballot. Thank you.
My name is John Norwood, and I am running for Secretary of Agriculture here in the great state of Iowa. I believe we need a new vision for Iowa agriculture that's built on the tremendous productivity of our 23 million acres of corn and bean grounds, that is based on resiliency and sustainability, diversification, and profitability. It's a tremendous system, but it's a system that's out of balance. It's not a system that's built to last. I want to help us find and chart a path forward that provides new opportunities and new options. We need to honor and support the system which got us to where we are today, but we need to also begin to diversify. And diversification to me means more choice, more options, really more freedom. Freedom to do the things you want to do in a way that benefits us all. I hope you will join me in that effort to create this new vision for how we work together, how we bring urban and rural together, and we create a healthy Iowa that, regardless of the county in which you live, each is a great place to live, a great place to raise children, and a great place to own and run a business.
All right, so those were some messages from our great statewide candidates. I do want to point out, unfortunately, we did not receive a video from Tom Miller for Attorney General, but if you go to his website, which is iowansformiller.com, you can find out a lot more information about our amazing Attorney General, Tom Miller. We're going to get him reelected, as well as move that entire slate of great candidates. Obviously, the U.S. Senate primary is on June 7th, so make sure that you make a plan to vote in that election. And you can find out more information about all those candidates by going back and watching this video again, or reaching out to them either on their website or on their Facebook page. I'm sure multiple events for all of these candidates will be happening in a county near you soon. All right, well, with that, we are going to go ahead and adjourn our convention. I do want to make a note that in a normal year, we have the chance to interact and talk with each other. Given the virtual setting, that's not something that we can do as easily this year, but we'll go ahead and keep the Zoom live. We'll just take it off of Facebook and we'll unmute everybody here in a second, so you'll have a chance to raise your hand and ask a question or talk amongst the group. If you do want to hop off and enjoy the rest of your Saturday, you can certainly do that as well. But thank you on behalf of everybody that helped to make this convention a reality, and for all the work that everyone did behind the scenes. One big thank you to all the convention chairs, of course, to our district central committee team that helped to behind the scenes to let people know what was going on in the district, and to get this Zoom going today as well. And thank you to all of our convention participants for voting in these races. One more thank you and shout out to all those candidates that won a seat on our state central committee representing the 3rd district, or our new affirmative action chair, and those who will be representing the district at our state convention committees. And with that, I will go ahead and adjourn this convention at 9:40. Thanks again.